Welcome back. 4 months ago, when I reviewed this pen, the Rainbow ASVINE V200, a viewer at TWSBI 4611 made the comment, any thoughts on how the V200 and the TWSBI vac700R compare? At the time, I did not have a vac700R, but I picked one up at a considerable discount on Fountain Pen Day. I am going to do as thorough and as fair a comparison as I can. I will not be completely disassembling the pens. Vacuum and piston mechanism assemblies can be tricky to reinsert unless you're really comfortable with doing that. I have compiled a list of the qualities that are important to me in a fountain pen. This list begins with looks or aesthetics and concludes with the cost and the writing experience. For this comparison, I will be using the titanium original model of the ASVINE V200 and the TWSBI vac700R in the kyanite finish. The specifications are length. The TWSBI is 5.8 inches, while the V200 is 5.31. The ASVINE pen weighs in at 37.5 grams and the TWSBI at 34 grams, and the titanium parts of the V200 account for the weight differential. The V200 diameter is 15 millimeters, and so is the TWSBI. They are both very attractive pens. I really like the facets of the TWSBI cap. They are both very attractive pens, and they have nice clear acrylic resin caps and barrels. The TWSBI cap finial has the TWSBI logo under a clear acrylic dome, while the V200 has a flat, broad titanium cap finial. The clips are light and springy on both pens. The ASVINE V200 clip is made of titanium in a brushed satin finish. The TWSBI clip is also light and springy and has a matte frosted kyanite blue finish. Both caps have a built-in step to prevent nib dry out, and both caps have a cap band at the base of the cap to give added strength to that area and hopefully prevent cracking. On the ASVINE V200, the vacuum rod activator knob is titanium, which gives it a feeling of greater stability. The vacuum rod of the ASVINE pen takes a little bit of effort to extend and depress. The vacuum rod activator knob on the TWSBI vac700R is made of acrylic, which gives it a somewhat insubstantial feel in comparison. I do appreciate that TWSBI carried over the faceted design here and included this attractive kyanite blue chrome accent ring. And here you will see that to operate the vacuum rod is very easy on the TWSBI vac700R. Both caps come off in 2.5 turns. The cap does not post on the TWSBI vac700R. And although the ASVINE V200 cap does post deeply, securely, and well, most people do not post the cap on this pen because it posts directly on the knob, plus you risk dislodging the decorative silicone O-rings. The TWSBI nib is a little longer, but appears more narrow due to the shaping of the nib shoulders. The TWSBI nib has better branding and this nice kyanite blue coating on the nib tip. So here, the TWSBI wins on the look of its nib. Both nibs have plastic feeds. I have here an ASVINE steel medium nib, and the TWSBI is a steel 1.1 stub nib. The ASVINE pen is easily disassembled for cleaning. I was unable to disassemble the TWSBI pen. That may be because I do not have a lot of hand strength, or it may be because the pen is new, but I was unable to disassemble the TWSBI pen, even though it comes apart exactly as the ASVINE pen does. The ink I will be using today is Pilot Iroshizuku Ama-Iro, which is a nice medium sky blue color. The inks that I have that are closest to this color are Private Reserve Naples Blue, Aurora Turquoise, and Monte Verde Caribbean Blue. Looking at the grip section of both pens, you will notice that the diameter of the ASVINE pen is larger and has a slight curve, whereas the TWSBI grip section is straight with a flare out at the end. And I discovered that the threads on the TWSBI grip section are quite sharp with a sharp step up. Here I will demonstrate the filling process of the TWSBI vac700R. As you can see here, we got a really nice fill, about 50% or more of the pen's ink capacity. My camera stopped as I was filming the filling process on the ASVINE V200 pen, so that is why you already see ink residue in the pen here. As I previously mentioned, the ASVINE V200 requires a little more force, a little more hand strength to complete the filling process. And we have here a good fill, which looks to be about 40% of the total capacity of the ink reservoir. The TWSBI is on the left and the ASVINE on the right. Beginning the writing samples, I will alternate the pens, starting with the ASVINE V200, followed by the TWSBI vac700R. Keep in mind, while viewing the writing sample, that the ASVINE nib is a medium, while the TWSBI's is a 1.1 stub. As for line variation, the ASVINE medium nib can be pushed just a little, and you can get a very slight line variation. But this is not possible with the TWSBI stub nib. Both nibs allow for reverse writing, although the TWSBI excels in this due entirely to the fact that it has a stub nib and a flatter writing surface. As for a wetness test, I feel that the ASVINE medium nib was a wetter nib than the TWSBI pen, although they were so close in their results that the overall result is inconclusive in my opinion. Other than the size of the nibs, I found very little difference in the writing experience, and I found no difference in the smoothness of the nibs. They could have very well come from the same original equipment manufacturer. So which pen wins the comparison? Let's go to my list of qualities. Aesthetics. They are equally attractive pens. The subjective aspect is whether or not you prefer the titanium finish. Weight and perceived sense of quality. The ASVINE pen feels and is more substantial, which makes it seem like a better constructed, more durable pen. The comfort in hand is identical. The ease of filling and volume of fill, the TWSBI wins here as the vacuum rod is easier to depress and the filled volume is greater. Of course, you can always perform multiple filling attempts to gain more volume. Caps posting, let us just say that for functional purposes, neither cap posts. The writing experience is identical in every respect, excepting for nib sizes. The ASVINE V200 nib will exhibit a bit of line variation, whereas the TWSBI does not. The wetness factor is not a conclusive or deciding factor in the comparison. The ASVINE V200 has nib options of extra fine, fine, and medium in the ASVINE nib, or a Bach extra fine, medium, or broad. The TWSBI nib comes in an extra fine, fine, medium broad, and 1.1 stub. The TWSBI vac700R is priced at $80 from most retailers. The ASVINE V200 titanium with a medium ASVINE nib is currently available for $47.99, with the rainbow model coming in at $53.99 and the new matte black version at $55.99. So now for a decision. For the ease of filling and the total volume of ink the pen holds, I would choose the TWSBI vac700R. But for total aesthetics, weight, perceived build quality, and the comfort of the grip section, I will choose the ASVINE V200. I hope this review has been of some use to you and will guide you in future pen purchases.